All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue the Year 9 offseason with our San Jose Sharks. I want to get a big chunk of the Year 10 simulation done, but we still have some roster moves to do for this team, still have some possible trades to make. I was asking you guys in the last video, when it comes to our roster, what do we need to change? Obviously, the main one right now is Joffrey Lupul up on that first line. And there's a lot of comments from you guys saying to trade him away. And there was one that had a lot of likes. Now, hang on. I'll get to that in 1 second. Here's my roster once again. Ernest Shirley as the goaltender. Defenseman, Hamilton, Shattenkirk, Merrill, Konechev, Honka, and then our enforcer, Morrison. So we were thinking of another defenseman as well. But that's not horrible, because we did it last year and we won the President's, right? I don't blame our top 6 defensemen for our first round exit. And then our forwards, McFarland, Walton, and we'll just go with Lupul just for now, just so we can get the lines for you guys. It's easy to see. So McFarland, Walton, and Lupul. DeCall, Couturier, and Boucher. Gallagher, Mantha, and Reichel. And then Clifford, Adam Ernie, and Kyle Palmieri down there. Dwight King was somebody that we were going to trade away. Brendan Lemieux was going to be somebody that we could trade away because he really hasn't developed into anything special. I mean, as for a third-line power forward scoring forward, we've already replaced him with Anthony Mantha, Palmieri, and not Palmieri, Anthony Mantha, Reichel, and Gallagher, right? Those are our 3 power forwards already. And he's already 26 years old. So I wouldn't mind trading Brendan Lemieux if I need some trading assets, right? Down here, Dozy, yeah. So we already have our team, basically. But one of the comments was suggesting to go after Valentin Sykov, or whatever his damn name is, for Joffrey Lupul and Adam Ernie, to get rid of both those guys. We have Adam Ernie playing as a 4th-line center right now, so I guess we could just replace Adam Ernie with a free agent center. That wouldn't be the hardest thing to do. But the problem is that Zykov, $6.3 million for 1 year, and that's decent trade value, right? They don't want to give him up. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but we really don't have much to give back, so I'll try it. Go Joffrey Lupul here. See what I mean? Joffrey Lupul's trade value, not that much. And then we go Adam Ernie. All right, so Adam Ernie and Joffrey Lupul. Now, let me just make sure. So Zykov replaces Lupul. Adam Ernie is the 4th liner alongside of Palmieri and Kyle Clifford. And he's got good defensive stats. What did he do for us last year? 20 points, -5, 14 penalty minutes. It's not the greatest. It's not horrible either. And then in the playoffs, 1 point, +1, 2 penalty minutes. All right, so, I mean, yeah, I can understand. We could replace him, but it's still a good, decent little player here. All right, so I don't even think they'll want to give that up, though. So Joffrey Lupul and Adam Ernie for Valentin Sykov. Will it go through? All right, so what you are offering us in return isn't very interesting. It doesn't meet our block needs at all that well, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I'll try to get Valentin Sykov here. If I'm going to lose in the last year, I want a scapegoat so I can blame you guys. GM Superbman, his ego is at risk right here. So, if Adam Ernie and Joffrey Lupul ain't going to work, let's see if we can add maybe someone else. I got to hold on to this guy for a depth for our backup goaltender, so he's not going anywhere. I guess I could trade away the 1st overall pick this year. I mean, we're not probably going to be a playoff team anyways. Yeah, I'd throw in the 1st overall pick for Zykov. I would rather do this at the trade deadline because I still think with Joffrey Lupul, he'll give us a good enough season that we'll be in a playoff spot, and then come the trade deadline, maybe somebody like Zykov, the team is willing to give up. You know, right now, to make a trade for this guy, it's a lot, but you know what? You guys want it? I'll go with it. Lupul, Ernie, and a 1st for Zykov. Will it go through? Wow, it still didn't go through. Damn, they really want to hold on to Zykov. I'll throw in a 2nd. Will it go through? Oh, wow, okay. Maybe, you know what, there might be some more players on the team I can get here. Centers, McFarland, Couturier, DeCall. All right, so really nobody after this. They're not going to... The 2nd overall pick would have been the same trade value. No. Lemieux, yeah, I'd throw in Brendan Lemieux. Dwight King, I'd throw in. Can they afford? Yeah, they can afford Dwight King. All right. Ooh, I'd do that just like that. Will that go through? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, man. Jesus. They really want to hold on to Valentin Sykov. I'm not going to trade away my whole team for him. Brendan Lemieux, I'd give up that. Palmieri, I need either Ernie or Palmieri. They both have the same trade value, so I'm not trading both of them. Dozy, I would trade away, but he's got the same as Lemieux, so it's that kind of low trade value. And then Helm and Morrison, I'm holding on to for some depth. We'd have no other... See what I mean? We don't have a trading asset to trade away to get somebody back. We're waiting for our younger players to turn into superstars. If I want to trade away a guy like Brendan Gallagher, fine, but then I give up my 3rd-line depth. So it's like you're just trading for names right now, basically, to do this. You're not really adding into your team. I mean, it's still, I mean, technically it would still, but now the fourth line center position, I'm not going to have anything to trade for anyway, so King, Dozy, a first, Ernie, and Loop. I mean, you guys want me to do it. It's giving up a lot for Zykov. He better be a damn 60-goal scorer. Will it go through? Holy crap. All right, you know what? I'm canceling that trade. I know that comment had a lot of likes, but he made it as simple as Lupul and Ernie for Zykov. Lupul, Ernie, a first, King, and Dozy, and they're still saying no for Zykov. So Zykov is off the table officially. I can't do it. We'll think of it come trade deadline, but I think we just have to go with Joffrey Lupul into the season. I just have to do it. All right, but I can trade away a guy like Dwight King right now to free up some cap space. That's what I can do. Hang on, let me just read the rest of his comment here. Blah, blah, blah. Sign Nylander. Should get a jump to 84. So he wants me to get Nylander. And then, he wants me to trade away Sean Couturier because Nylander will turn to 84 overall. And then you could trade Couturier away because you don't need him on the second line right wing. Well, you know, that's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes. I mean, Nylander, he was supposed to get the better jump anyways. What happens if I trade away Couturier and then Nylander stays at 70-something overall? Now I've traded away an 86 overall two-way forward? No, this is... I could understand the Zykov trade, but everything else, no, it's a little bit too much. And also he wants me to sign Sam Reinhart. I don't have $4 million to sign. No, it's a little bit too much in that comment. I didn't mind the Joffrey Lupul for Zykov, but other than that, we really don't have much here. Okay, let me just try to free up some cap space here with these guys. I want some depth, so Sundin and Tomasek, these guys are depth. Because, yeah, he's got the defensive awareness 92, so I want the depth guys. But certain players, like, Dwight King can go. It'll free up some cap space for me. Anthony Duclair, guys like this, I want to wait until the jump at the beginning of the season upcoming. Maybe he'll get up to a certain level where I can trade him and get something back for it. All right. No cap. No, I'm going to hold on to Adam Ernie now. Might as well. No, can hold on to all those guys. Defenseman. Nope, I can hold on to him. Yeah, it's basically it. All right, so I'll hold on to all these guys. I'll get rid of Dwight King just to free up some cap space here. And let me just throw in a bunch of these guys that I know I'm not going to sign. There you go. I know they're probably first overall picks at 20 overall, but they're all like 3 stars, 2.5 stars. So I'll just get rid of Dwight King here for a, we'll trade him back to the Los Angeles Kings. I'll get a second and a third and a fourth. Will it go through? Nope. Second and a third. There it is. All right, so we traded Dwight King to the LA Kings just to free up a little bit of cap space. So now that we can go into free agency and sign those players that you wanted me to get. All right, so I'm still open to trading away Joffrey Lupul, but we got to wait to the trade deadline and then find a sniper that a team is willing to give up. To go after a sniper who is a legitimate first liner right now, we just do not have the trading assets. And I don't want to give up a roster spot just to improve another roster spot slightly. All right, so... yeah, we're going to have to wait for that. All right, so let me get a few of these young goalies. There you go. More trading assets possibly for us come the trade deadline. Brendan Johnston, sure. Yeah, I'll sign this guy as well. There you go, two-way. And then all skaters. Is there any? All right, so Sam Reinhart, he wants $4.8 million. We already have McFarland as our first-line center, and we already have DeCall as our second-line center. I don't need another third-line center for Sam Reinhart. That'd be wasting him on the third line. I mean, he's a good player, but he's just not going to fit in on our team right now. So I'm going to skip him. Also for $4.8 million, no thank you. But William Nylander, I will give a chance to. 4.5-star potential. If he jumps up to 84, 85 overall, like this guy says, he might then, I might be able to trade away Sean Couturier. But I'm not going to do it until I see it. So we'll go 2 years at 1.5. Yeah, he should sign for that. All right. And then Papin, I'm not going to re-sign him. I will sign some of these guys, though. Stanislav Kaigoradov. Oh, my. All right, so these guys might get a jump. These guys are players that I might be able to re-sign. He wants a lot of money. Nope, can't get him. All right. Not re-sign, sorry. Trade away. Kavanaugh, Hansel. There's a lot of them in here. Let's see. Is there any younger players? Kemp. No, I don't need you. He would get a jump, though, but he probably wants, I knew it. He's already fourth liner. I don't really need any of you guys. Prince and Hansel I'll sign because they're both 25 years old. Yeah, Prince and Hansel I'll sign just for some depth. There you go. 1 year. That works for me. And then Hansel as well. 1 year there you go. All right, so there's all the players that we're going to sign. We don't really have much cap space. I'm not going to sign anymore. We unloaded, what's his name? Dwight King just to free up some cap space. But Sam Reinhart, I'm going to pass on. And then really nobody. Yeah, I mean 2.85. That's all I got. So it's you're going down here. No, we don't need anybody. We already have a team full of players. We have younger players who are in the AHL who are signed for depth. We have our team already. It's the first line right wing position that we want to improve. Valentin Sykov was on the docket, but it's just way too much to trade away. So we'll see how this team starts to play, and come the trade deadline or come a time where, another team is not doing so good, then we can replace Joffrey Lupul at the trade deadline. I wouldn't mind. I'm not holding on to him because I want him for the team. I don't want to trade away players just to make the trade, all right? I want to hold on to those prospects, hold on to those trading assets, and then when the time is right, really make a splash for that right player. All right. Remember when we traded for Joffrey Lupul? It was a prospect and a second. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a player out there that is just very easy to trade for, that dominates on that first line. It's hard, I know, but come the regular season and come the trade deadline, that's when the trading blocks get adjusted. Hang on one second. Let me blow my nose here. All right, that's much better. So they are expecting 50 wins out of us this year. Sounds good. I expect a President's Trophy out of us as well. But the Stanley Cup, that's the big one, the big time Stanley Cup. Doesn't really matter about the draft. We're not going to be drafting this year. Ooh, look at that. Rumors are flying around that Sidney Crosby is on the trading block. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You wait till the regular season. Now, I still wouldn't mind making a trade if maybe we got a player who went up in trade value, right? So let me just quickly go to GM options, trade negotiations, and we'll just quickly take a look at our rosters again, because maybe a guy like what's his name, Duclair jumped up, and now I can trade for Zykov. So same thing here. These guys, we haven't seen a trade value jump in any of the centers after Sean Couturier. Left wingers, Lupul, Lemieux. Hang on here. Lemieux. No, that was the same. Reichel. No, they're all the same still. All right, Duclair did not get a jump, so it looks like 80 overall. All right, so he did not jump up. Okay, right wingers. No one really jumped up at all. All right, and defensemen, no one really jumped up. So we didn't really acquire any new trading assets here. And the goaltenders, Chipchura, no, not really. All right, but now we can go through the teams. Like Corey Perry is still in the trading block. I want a sniper, though. You guys said you wanted a sniper for that first line. So let's just go through the teams quickly again, because we saw some new players be put up. Like, Sidney Crosby. All right, but the trade value is way too high. We ain't getting him. All right, but they also want to give up Evgeny Malkin, 36 years old. Way too much trade value. I like our centers right now. No point in trading for them. Sure, they'd help us this year, but we'd have to give up I'd rather go for Zykov than freaking Malkin or Crosby. 35, 36 years old. Let's keep just going through the teams here, see if any good snipers pop up. Bobby Ryan. All right, but 1 year left, 35 years old. I think he's a sniper in this game. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he'd work out for us, but trade value is a little bit too much right now. Callahan. All right, keep going here. Blake Wheeler, Matt Molson. He would be worth it. He would be worth it, but 84 overall, same thing as a Joffrey Lupul. We want slightly better than that. Zach Parise and Suter. Zach Parise is 86 overall now. Suter 91. No, thank you. Los Angeles, all right, so they don't want to give up Zykov. Keep going, Steen. All right, all these guys. Eric Stahl, yeah, there's no snipers available. All right, so we're going to have to start off, well, there's Louis Eriksson, but Joffrey Lupul, I'd rather just use Joffrey Lupul. He's 84 overall, he's the exact same thing. All right, so we'll wait to the trade deadline for some trading assets to show up. We'll see how Joffrey Lupul does, all right? All right, so let's quickly do the roster move. Oh, you know what? If Joffrey Lupul has been replaced by William Nylander, then we don't have to give him the chance. Nylander might have got the jump like this guy was saying, so hang on. Goaltenders. All right, so Ernest Chiarelli and Linglet. All right. Defensemen. Hamilton, Shattenkirk, Merrill, Konechev, Honka, Morrison. All right, that's fine. Did anyone get a jump? Konechev, 86 overall, so he's still slowly getting better. Honka, it's his last year, but 84, he's capped off at. He's still a great depth defenseman as an offensive defenseman. And then forwards, McFarland, get your ass up here, so we already have too many, all right? So, oh, there it is. Nylander, he's still 79 overall. So that comment about trading away Sean Couturier and then have William Nylander just replace him, well, that would have gone to shit, wouldn't it? I would have traded away Couturier and signed Nylander, and then we would have had nothing, and then hopefully you would have had what's his name, Sam Reinhart, because you would have freed up some cap space. But why change your team that much just to get a few different players in here who have very similar overalls? I'm glad I signed Nylander, but I'm glad I held on to all those other players as well. It wasn't working. Duclair, I'm going to release you. Brendan Lemieux, send you down. All right, so McFarland, get your ass up here. Dozy, Lemieux. We have one player too many up here. Hang on, who is it? Reichel, Tomasek. Whoa, Tomasek, 84 overall. He's got a really good defensive category. All right, it's good to know. And a really good shooting category. Holy crap, 5-star shooting category. All right, hang on a second there, Tomasek. I might have to figure out a place for him. All right, so best lines. Let's see what it's talking about. Walton, McFarland, Mantha, Newt. We're going to go back to what we had last year during the regular season. It worked out great for us. So Joffrey Lupul, we'll keep an eye on. He's only got the 3-star potential. He's still currently 84 overall, but we will keep an eye on him month for month. All right, I just want to arrange the lines the same way they were last year just to start. You know what? Hang on one second. I just want to make sure I don't lose any of this. I've gone a far time. Hang on one second. All right, that's much better. So Walton, McFarland, Lupul, Couturier, DeCall, Boucher, Mantha, Reichel, Gallagher, Tomasek, Clifford, and Palmieri. So they're actually saying go Tomasek in the middle down here. That's not bad. I mean, he's got some decent little stats. I just wonder if Ernie is better defensively. I think the only reason Tomasek is in there is because he's a natural center. It's 5-star for, Ernie's got 5-star shooting as well. 4-star, 2.5-star for senses, though. That's an interesting one. Let me go back to Tomasek. I think I might just go Tomasek here. This guy was a good signing here. I mean, his defensive category, no, the senses category is about the same. His puck skills is better, his shooting is better, but his physical and skating, no. I'm going to go with Adam Ernie. Adam Ernie's physical, athleticism, and defensive categories, I'm sure they're pretty similar, but you know what? No, I'm going to go with Adam Ernie. So, Tomasek, I'm going to scratch you. I'll just bring you back down. There you go. But you know what? That's really good depth right there. That's a good depth player to have. I didn't think his trade value went up, did it? We can check that out again. Tomasek. There you go. Very nice. All right, so let me get Adam Ernie in there. All right, so exact same team as we had last year. So that way we know the regular season should be good. Imagine we missed the playoffs now. Jesus. Shattenkirk and how did I... Oh, man, I forget how I set this up. I think it was like... I think I put those two guys together, and then Morrison and Merrill were together. Yeah, Morrison and Merrill were together. And then Konechev and Hamilton, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was like that. There you go. So we'll go offensive defenseman with the two-way. Offensive defenseman with the two-way. Power play. Walton, McFarland's, and we'll go the exact same lines as they were last year. Mantha, nope. Reed Boucher's got to go in there. Reed Boucher always gets a lot of goals, so there you go. Konechev and Hamilton, Honka and Shattenkirk, yep. McFarland, Walton, DeCall, and Boucher. There you go, Reed Boucher, Konechev, Hamilton, Honka, Shattenkirk, yeah. Penalty kill, all right, so here's an interesting one now. Sean Couturier, one in there. He's already killing one. Okay, so DeCall. Who else do I want killing the penalties? It was Kyle Clifford was, he's already down there, right? So Clifford's killing one. Kirby Reichel, no, we didn't have the power forwards killing the penalties last time. It was Palmieri and Ernie that we used. So, yeah, Palmieri, there you go, and Adam Ernie instead of DeCall. I think that's what we used last time. There you go. So, Couturier with Palmieri. Couturier with Clifford. Right, and then Adam Ernie with Palmieri, the two fourth liners we'll keep together down there. Merrill and we'll go Hamilton on the first line. There you go with Merrill, and then Shattenkirk with Honka. Yeah, that makes sense. Hamilton and Merrill, Honka and Shattenkirk, DeCall and Couturier. There you go. I want DeCall killing the second line power, the second 3-on-3, three-man penalty kill. 4-on-4 lines, McFarland and Walton, Hamilton, Shattenkirk. Let's switch these guys up again. There you go, Konechev and, what's his name? Honka, DeCall, and Boucher. All right. And then Couturier, and we'll go with Mantha here, not Lupul. Couturier and Mantha, and then Merrill and Morrison. Merrill. There it is. All right, extra attackers, McFarland and Hamilton. Now we'll go McFarland and DeCall. There you go, our two centers. Goaltenders, Ernest Charelli. And then the shootout lineups, we'll go... Yeah, we'll get... There you go. And Reed Boucher we'll put in there. All right, there you go. So there is our NHL lineups. We'll see how it works out for the first month or two. Best lines for the NHL or the AHL team. There you go. There's everyone starting. Marner. Really doesn't matter who I start now. We have a bunch of 3.5-star players. All right, so Nylander's down there. We'll see if he gets the jump. It doesn't matter. All right, and goaltenders. Very nice. All right, so that's that taken care of. That's our line changes. So we have $6.21 million to work with. So that's perfect. Come the trade deadline, if we need to make a trade, now we have the cap space, and I will trade away a bunch of those players that are in the AHL, to move up. Hopefully a few of them get a little bit of trade value come that time. So before we start the regular season, let's just, I'll show you guys the best players in the NHL right now. I know you guys are eager to see this, especially that elite goalie who got drafted first overall. Check him out here too. All right, so forwards, we'll just go the first line forwards. Best forwards in the NHL. There you go. All right, I'm not gonna name them for you guys. You guys can just quickly take a look at them. Defensemen, top 2 defensemen. Best defenseman in the NHL. There you go. All right. And then goaltenders, the best goalies in the NHL, the elite goalies. There you go. All right. So Ville Husso got up there, 89 overall. That's good news. And Ernest Chiarelli, he's 87 overall. He's up there, man. Ernest Chiarelli's definitely up there. Now, for goalies that you guys wanted to see the potential, hang on. Any goalie. There you go. And let's just see. All right, there's that Prince guy, 5-star potential. He's 75 overall, 20 years old. Quite nice. All right, there's the top goalies in the NHL right now. And we'll just go defenseman, top defenseman. Let's see if anybody's got... oh, you know what? I don't need to do this. Hang on. Defense. There you go. Very good. Potential. So there's the best defenseman. Yeah, that guy, that Smallingberg guy who was drafted by who was it? Ottawa, 88 overall already. He's an offensive defenseman. He was a great draft pick. And forwards, let's just see if there's any new forwards that have been drafted that are taking over. McDavid, all right, so he's still up there, 25 years old, 89 overall. Korostelev, Jesus, he's got no trade value, that guy. He's probably like 26. Yeah, he's not going to jump. All right, and then here's all the rest of the players. All right. So, let us start the season simulation here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's continue. We will... Oh, you know what I got to remember to do? I got to just remember to turn off the injuries and also the automated goalie rotations. I got to do all that. So, injuries are off. All right, and automated goalie rotations are back on. All right, so year 10, the roster has been put in place. The exact same roster as last year. Hopefully, that's a good thing because we won the President's Trophy, and our team, has gotten older, so hopefully they've gotten better. But when it comes to the playoffs, because, you don't want to go into the playoffs with the exact same team because we've lost now 2 years in a row. But that comes the trade deadline. Once the trade deadline comes, I do want to replace Joffrey Lupul on that first line. All right, it's just getting to a spot where we can make the best trade for the team. I can make the trade right now, but you're talking about giving up a lot and messing with the good chemistry that we have that gave us the President's Trophy last year, right? I mean, we're losing against Jonathan Quick and the LA Kings, and the LA Kings had a lot of retirements this year. So I do want to make the trade for Joffrey Lupul. I don't want to just make it just to make it, though, just because there's a lot of YouTube comments saying to trade him away. I understand. Trust me, I want to get rid of him as well. And with that 3-star potential, he could drop to 82, 81 overall. I don't want to be having that guy on the first line, right? But let's wait until there's a sniper out there that has good trade value, that is better than Joffrey Lupul, and is attainable. That's the big thing. I tried to get Valentin Saikov, and his trade value wasn't even that high, but it's because they weren't willing to give him up, and I don't have any trading assets right now. I have none. We have a great team, but we don't want to trade away a single asset in that team. So let's see. Let's see if it was a good call to keep this team together or not. First game of the regular season, and we win against the Calgary Flames. Oh, the LA Kings now. The team that's kicked us out the last 2 years in a row. The team we've met in the playoffs last 3 years in a row. Come on. Start off this damn regular season on the right foot here, Ernest Chiarelli. You had the bad start last year, even though you turned it around like the last 3 quarters of the regular season. I think that's the reason why Ernest Chiarelli lost out on the Vezina last year, was because of the bad start. I forget what it was that we had the bad start. I think it was some of the line changes that we had. The penalty kill, that's what it was, yeah. Our penalty kill last year was bad because I had guys like Gallagher and Reichel on it. You don't want to put those power forwards in there. You want to put the grinders, the two-way forwards. Clifford, Couturier. Put guys like that in there. So we started off pretty decent. I don't want to jinx us just yet, but, I want freaking McFarland and Walton to just take this team over. I know they have the capability to do it. I know we have the depth to answer for them if they can just become point-of-game players. And blah, blah, blah. Joffrey Lupul is holding them back. Blah, blah, blah. I've seen John Tavares with shitty line mates get a point-per-game seasons in GM mode. I've seen Sidney Crosby with, like, Dupuis on his first line get, like, point-per-game seasons, all right? So come on now. It can happen still. We just need everyone to be firing on all cylinders. The depth goal scoring, the goaltending needs to be here from day one, and the defense, the special teams, all that good stuff. All right, answer back with a win. Answer back with a win. Nashville Predators, tough team. There you go. Good win. All right. So I'll just keep the simulation going until... I don't want to jinx it, but I got to say it until we lose the next game. Overtime or regulation. So we'll just keep going here. All right, there you go. I jinxed it. All right, so after 1 month, 6-2-1. All right, not a bad regular season so far. Not going to go crazy on it. 13 points. All right. You know what? We're not going to stop the simulation just yet. I do want to just make sure I don't lose this, but hang on 1 second. All right, that's much better. So let's go 1 more month then. All right, we'll go 1 more month. We'll see how this team is playing. I don't really need to take a look at the stats right now. They're going to be all over the place. You need to get a good 20 games in, 25 games in to get the right statistics. There'll be some team right now with like a penalty kill percentage of like 95% and like a power play percentage of like 85% or something like that. So let's just keep going here. The Edmonton Oilers shouldn't have lost out on Max or Sam Reinhart. Not looking like the greatest record so far. The Anaheim Ducks, come on now, boys. I want to have a good regular season. Oh, my God. Here it starts. Here it freaking starts. Reed Boucher, 6 goals. Pete Walton, 8 assists. I wonder, is Joffrey Lupul on that? You know what? Ooh, you know what? That's one thing I got to check. He might have been dropping off. Yeah, I forgot to check that. All right, so we'll stop simulation here. Now, all of a sudden, we started off like 6-1-1, and now we've lost 4 of 5. That's great. I love how this simulation engine works. Joffrey Lupul, yes, Joffrey Lupul. Because it could just be as that simple. He might have dropped to like 81 overall by now. Still 84 overall. All right, he's still 84, so don't worry about that, boys. He's still 84 overall. We'll keep an eye on that, though. So we'll go, we'll go to this month. Even if we start to lose some games, we're still going to be a playoff team. It's about making that trade at the trade deadline. Speaking of trades, I guess we can jump topics here a little bit because we've got the long simulation, but the draft coming up in 2 days. I can't wait. I really do feel like there's going to be a lot of trades this year at the draft. They were even talking about Philadelphia wanting to move up just because the draft is in Philly and they want to make a big splash for their fans. Man, the Florida Panthers, if they trade away that first overall pick, that's going to be history. That's going to be something that haunts them. If they trade him, especially to like an Eastern Conference team, you just got to draft it just to avoid the negatives, I feel. You know, you don't want those guys coming back or if it is like an Aaron Ekblad, you don't want to have him beating you in the future. It's just, I would take the draft pick. I really would. But you never know. The GM in Florida, if he wants to win right now, I guess you could get an arm and a leg back for him if you can find the right dance partner, I suppose. And there's definitely a lot of teams out there that want to get the first overall pick. I want to see if it's a realistic option, you know, because if one team agrees to it, can the Florida GM then just say, you know, he goes to the next team that wanted it as well and be like, just for example, Toronto offered up their 8th Kadri, Phaneuf, and Gardner. If you want the first, you got to give me more than that, right? So they could start this crazy kind of auction where they just get ridiculous amounts of offers for that first overall pick. It's going to be interesting anyways. All right, so we're up here at the beginning of November, 11-8-2. So we've been losing some games. But, you know what? It might just be our lack of goal scoring. There's a lot of games. Well, there's some games there we lost. But I think Ernest Chiarelli has actually been playing pretty good. Yeah, he's not been playing bad. All right, so let's take a look where we are in the regular season here. So, Pacific Division, we have 24 points. All right, top-notch team in the NHL right now is 32, the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we can definitely catch them. Don't worry about that. It's still early on. Stats Central, but maybe just figuring out what is working on our team and what's not working. Same thing that we did last year, made those line changes at the right time. So goals for per game, yeah, that's it's not good news, but it is good news because I know our goals against is good then. So Ernest Chiarelli is still having the good season. We have got to figure out how to score more goals for per game. So Joffrey Lupul on the first line. Yeah, I hear you, boys. I hear you. Goals against per game, though. Look at that. once again, we're a defensive team, and that's the stat I want going into the playoffs. It's the goals against stat. So if we can just work on our goals for and our goals against can stay the same, we will be a President's Trophy, competitive President's Trophy team again. I'm not going to guarantee it. Power play percentage, 20th in the NHL, so our power play could do a lot better. Penalty kill percentage 83.3%, so that's decent. Could be a little bit better, but our goals our goals against is already great, so I'm not going to get angry there. Our home record 5-3-2, our away record 6-5-0, and our last 10 4-5-1. So we're just on a little bit of a bad stretch right now. I think that's all it is. All right, player stats of the season. So I'll just show you guys this, and then I want your guys' opinion on who should we trade away? Who should we move the line changes? Again, I still want to wait to the trade deadline so we can see all the options that are available. All right, but just for you guys, just to go nuts in the comments. DeCall, again, leading our team on that second line center position. All right, Reed Boucher, 15 points on that second line. Pete Walton, 14 points, 1 goal, 13 assists. McFarland, 14 points. All right, Joffrey Lupul, 12 points. So I know what you guys are saying, but you know what? I tried to trade for Zykov. It just didn't work out, right? Sean Couturier, 11 points. Clifford, Palmieri. All right, all these guys down here. Looks like our third line is actually... Our fourth line is doing better than our third line for points. Mantha, Reichel, and Gallagher. Interesting. Defenseman. Honka, 9 points. Konechev, 7 points. Hamilton, 7. Shattenkirk, 6. Merrill, 4. And Morrison, 1. And I think the MVP again, yes, Ernest Chiarelli. 17 games played, 1.51 goals against average, 11-5-1, and he's already got 4 shutouts with a save percentage of 94.73. So it's just our goals for right now, and that's the Joffrey Lupul thing once again, right? So I might be able to change my lines a little bit to get some goals for, but we're not going to be making any trades into the trade deadline. So I just want to let you guys know that. The next video, we'll simulate up to the trade deadline. We'll reestablish how our team is playing, and if we need to make that trade, we will. All right, so who do you guys think we can trade for? And also, if I need to make a line change in the next video to improve our goals for, what should it be? All right, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.